Emily Carter had always been used to quiet struggles. She worked 2 part-time jobs, lived in a small rented room, and believed in keeping her head down. She didn't grow up with privilege, only with memories of a warm smile, a soft voice, and a woman who brushed her hair every night before bed. Her mother, Grace, had passed away when Emily was 8. That was the only story Emily's relatives ever gave her. No explanation, no answers, just silence shaped into grief. So when Emily got the job offer to work as a housekeeper at the Hale mansion, she took it without hesitation. The pay was good. More than good. Enough to fix her leaking roof, maybe even go back to school one day. The mansion itself felt like a world separate from reality, shiny marble floors, golden chandeliers, and hallways that seemed to stretch forever. There were rooms she wasn't allowed to enter, doors that remained locked, and people who walked past her without making eye contact. But the one name everyone spoke with respect, almost fear, was Jonathan Hale, the billionaire owner of the estate. He was rarely seen. A businessman, a philanthropist, a mystery. On Emily's 3rd week, she was asked to clean the private study. A room apparently only she was assigned. As she dusted the bookshelves, her gaze caught on a silver picture frame tucked between old journals. She shouldn't have touched it. She knew that. But something about it drew her like a magnet. She lifted it, and the world stopped. Her mother's face. You don't forget the face of the person you loved most in your life. The woman in the photo was undeniably Grace. Her warm eyes. The same faint dimple near her lip. Standing close beside Jonathan Hale, young, smiling, almost happy. Emily's hands began to shake. Her breath came out in fragments. Where did you get this? She whispered to no one. Then the door behind her opened. Jonathan Hale entered, tall, poised, and unknowingly walking into the most important moment of Emily's life. But when he saw what she was holding, his face drained of all color. He didn't ask who she was. He didn't ask how she got the job. He didn't even blink. He just stared at the photo in her hands, and in a voice barely more than a whisper, he said, "Grace." Emily's throat tightened so painfully she thought she might collapse. "You knew her?" she managed. Jonathan stepped forward slowly, as though afraid she might shatter like glass. "Knew her?" His voice trembled, something unimaginable for a man with power over millions. "I loved her." Emily's breath broke. "She was my mother." For the first time in his life, Jonathan Hale, billionaire, genius, and man made of iron, staggered. "Your mother?" he repeated, hollow, stunned. Emily nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "They said she died 20 years ago. Nobody ever told me anything. I grew up not even knowing who my father was." Jonathan's hands trembled now. He sank into a chair, covering his face. "They told me she left me," he whispered. "One day she was there, and the next, gone. Her family came for her. They refused to let her speak to me. They took her away. I never knew why." Emily's heart pounded like thunder. "She never talked about you," Emily replied softly. "I always thought we had no one." Silence stretched, heavy, raw, and life-changing. Then Jonathan looked up, and the composed, wealthy giant seemed broken. "I searched for her for years," he said. "Every city, every record, every hospital. When I finally found where she had lived, it was too late. They told me she had passed. And that she had left no child." Emily's breath hitched. "They lied to both of us," she said. Jonathan nodded slowly, grief carving deep shadows into his face. And then he whispered the words that cracked something open in Emily's chest. "I didn't just love your mother. I asked her to marry me. I wanted a family with her." The air in the room felt different now. Emily swallowed. "So, what does that make us?" Jonathan stood. His eyes, so full of pain, love, and memories, met hers. "It makes you my daughter." Emily didn't know whether to scream, cry, or fall into his arms. Her whole life had been shaped by struggle, loneliness, and unknowns, and now, the truth came like a wave large enough to drown in. But Jonathan didn't move to hug her. He stepped back, hesitant, almost afraid. "I don't expect you to accept me," he said. "I don't expect forgiveness. All I ask is, allow me to know you. To learn who you are. To honor the woman we both lost." Emily looked at the framed photo again. Her mother's eyes, soft, hopeful, seemed to look at her, urging her forward. She wiped her tears. And stepped toward him. Not as an employee. Not as a stranger. But as a daughter reclaiming the piece of her heart she never knew was missing. Softly, Emily whispered. "I think she would have wanted that." Jonathan exhaled, a sound half sigh, half sob. And for the first time in 20 years. He smiled.